guys, welcome back to another video. Yeah, still on the Sportster. The news on the dyno is as usual, just more money. I've a couple of weeks ago had to buy a right hand switchgear module, so the BCM got fitted along with the new voltage regulator, and it threw up a code for right hand switch module. So that was another £300 plus then obviously the labour. That was the last I've heard. That's going to be fitted. That may or may not solve the issue. Who knows? It's just a bucket with no bottom at the minute, but what can you do? Anyway, happier news. We're off for a ride today. It was sunny about half an hour ago. Now it's cloudy and actually quite chilly. I wish I'd put on my heavier gloves. But we're still running the engine in the old Sportster. 500 miles they reckon to fully run it in after the 1200 upgrade. So that means short journeys, low speed, you don't want it overheating, getting too hot. So this is the ride that we're doing today, just sort of perfect for it. Just another little mini tour around a few spots in Essex. And the other reason why I wanted just to get out today as well as clocking up some miles is I made myself a tank bag for my camera equipment. I'll just tilt you down. What do you think of that? Held on by magnets. I've obviously put that retaining strap just in case around the fuel tank. Test it before I used it on the motorway. And I've got to say, I have had it at 60 and it didn't shift once, so quietly confident. One of my better projects. We're going to go to Rettendon, where I'm going to show you near, not the exact, the scene of the infamous Essex boys Range Rover murders, and then we'll head over to Hanningfield Reservoir, where I've got a couple of Cumberlands, a couple of sausages for breakfast, which are going to cook up. So, as the British Airways captain says, sit back, enjoy the flight, and I'll come back to you shortly. Summer gloves for this. Just give you a quick look at this bag that I've made. So I've got a shoulder strap which goes across the body. That retaining strap that you can see there, that will go in there when I don't need it. And I also put on this style of zip, so a like a full length zip. Just what I need though, camera stuff. So guys, this is Rettendon, and Rettendon is just a small village in Essex which has become infamous. So the lane behind me, in 1995, 6th of December to be exact, very snowy, cold evening, 3 drug dealers by the name of Pat Tate, Tony Tucker and Craig Rolfe drove down this lane in the small hours in a Range Rover. They were expecting to take delivery of a large consignment of drugs, but what they didn't realise was it was actually a setup. And so somewhere, and I'm not going to go hunting for it because it's private property and I think the locals are getting a bit peeved off. 2 guys were lying in wait for them with shotguns, and all 3 were murdered. They were found the following day by the local farmer. Where I've just parked here, this is the spot where the famous news footage of the Range Rover being brought out on a flatbed with a tarpaulin covering it, and what they didn't realise at the time, the bodies were still in situ. It's bizarre because it's become a real sort of weird, ghoulish, macabre type tourist attraction. There's a massive fascination with the Essex Boys murders. I mean, there's been so many films created about it. You've had the original Essex Boys, which had Sean Bean in it, and then you had a I think it was The Rise of the Foot Soldier, which had Craig Fairbrass as one of the drug dealers, Pat Tate. The three guys that were shot, as I said, they were drug dealers. They were well known in the local underworld. And the two guys that were convicted of the murders, Jack Holmes and Michael Steele, they both protested their innocence. They've both been released from prison in the last few years, but they did both protest their innocence. You alright? No, honestly, mate, I'm doing a bit of videoing. I've just stopped. It's the Essex boys spot, isn't it?
No,
yeah. Oh, that's so kind of you. Thanks so much, mate. Really appreciate it. Do you know what? What a nice guy, actually. He stopped there, Wickford Superbikes. So if you're around Essex, Wickford Superbikes. Anyway, just to wrap it up, one of the main conspiracy theories was that the murders were in retaliation for the death of Leah Betts. Leah Betts was an 18-year-old girl from nearby Latchington, and she took an ecstasy tablet on her 18th birthday and tragically died. Now, there was a lot in the news at the time, and I remember it quite well because I was around that age. I was 18, would have been the same age as her, and about the dangers of taking ecstasy. It was found at the coroner's inquest that her death, although she had taken ecstasy, her death was actually caused by the amount of water that she had taken. However, they did say that this was a direct result of being inhibited by ecstasy. Now, ecstasy at the time was quite a designer sort of rave drug for the dance scene, and it was one of the side effects was because you could keep going all night basically dancing. You obviously sweated, got hot, needed a lot of water, so people were paranoid about dehydrating, so they did take a lot of water. Now, Leah Betts' father, he was a former police officer, so one of the more ridiculous conspiracy theories was that the police had organised the hit. I tend to just stick with the facts. However, what hasn't helped sort of quell the conspiracy theories is the fact that the two guys, Michael Steele and Jack Holmes, who were convicted of the murders, most of the evidence against them came from their getaway driver, Darren Nichols, who turned supergrass. So there is that as well. Anyway, I'm going to move on because I don't think they like us stopping here. Look at that, it's mad. It's just like a it's just in the middle of nowhere, and like, yeah, I think that's part of the whole morbid fascination with it. It's such like a rural sort of village that everybody, you know, drives through, pays no heed of, and yet there you go, 3 murders. Right, breakfast bop time.
I'm gonna lose my mind. Too much spinning and not enough time. I want a champagne life, the kind you love to hate when it's up in your face. I'm only here for the lights. Do anything I need to make it tap twice. I'll be blowing up your feet. Catch me going live. It means so much if you could like and subscribe. I'm gonna lose my mind. Champagne life. I'm only here for the lights. Blowing up your feet, catch me going live. It means so much. Like and subscribe.
Hanningfield Reservoir is situated between the Essex towns of Billericay and Chelmsford.
Holding up to 25.5 million litres of water, it is the 11th largest water storage reservoir in the United Kingdom. The reservoir is a designated site of special scientific interest and is also covered by a bird sanctuary order. Now, somewhat unusually, the reservoir has no catchment of its own and instead relies on Langford Water Treatment Works pumping water from the rivers Blackwater and Chelmer to fill the reservoir. So after a coffee and a sausage bap, it was time to head home. Before doing so, I collected some rubbish left by less considerate persons, then rode the short distance home. Folks, finally I'd like to thank you for joining me in this ride, and hopefully the next video will be a camping one. So until then, ride often and ride safe.